Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is a weekly wrap-up. I'm sitting in a different place, and the room that I usually use for recording, which is this room, is actually the least insulated room in the house, but it has the best light. So usually I'm sitting in here, but I'm probably gonna have to start figuring out where else to record once it starts to get cold for real. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's see. This week. Oh, I was going to show you guys some of the things that my mom sent me. So she sent me some cigar boxes. So she knew that I had started collecting some cigar boxes from a cigar shop locally. And so she found some where she lives in Georgia. And so she sent me some. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the cigar boxes yet, but now I have extra ones. So that's fun. And then what else was in the box? She sent me a large candle thing that has skeleton men around it, and it came broken because they didn't wrap it very well when they shipped it. So I'm hoping that I can still fix it and use it next year for October. She sent me a marionette, which is a little bit creepy because marionettes are always a little bit creepy, and I haven't really figured out how to use it very effectively yet, but my mom and my sister went shopping and they saw it. My sister knew that I really like puppets, so they bought it for me. So it's only minimally creepy. Let's see, what else has happened? Oh, I voted on Tuesday. So this is the Sunday. I'll post this Sunday after the 2020 vote. So we found out officially, I think earlier today, that Biden has won the election. So from my standpoint, that's great. And really anybody besides our previous our current administration is a win. So happy about that. Today I went and took some pictures over at Mount Hope Cemetery. So Mount Hope Cemetery is kind of a famous cemetery in Rochester. And so I took a couple of book pictures there and kind of just hung out. It's so peaceful. And it was actually really busy. I think there was maybe a funeral or some sort of ceremony going on, but then there were just a lot of people walking because the day was beautiful. We had some really cold days last week, and then this week we had some really nice days, so people are really taking advantage of that before the winter comes. So the cemetery was kind of busy, but it was also really peaceful and nice because everybody's always peaceful and nice in a cemetery. And I went and got coffee grounds before I remembered that I already had coffee grounds in my freezer. So, and then I got this new pillow at Lowe's as I am thinking about how I want to decorate for winter. And I love this pillow, and they only had one, but I might look online and see if they have another one for symmetry. What else happened? I posted 3 YouTube videos this week, which is consistent with how I started the channel probably 4 months ago. But lately I've only been really posting the wrap-up videos, and then maybe every now and then another one. But this past week I posted the Readers Imbibing Peril wrap-up. I posted just today my November TBR, which introduced my TBR prompt cards. And I also posted finally, that I've been promising, a post about 3 romances that I read. So I'm feeling pretty full of myself. Like, that's a lot of video. That's a lot of you, Kenya. Like, we get it. You do videos. But actually, I had recorded them all last weekend. And the plan, whenever I batch record, is that I'm going to space it out. But I'm just so bad at it, at timing and when should I post them and holding on to them and all of that sort of stuff, which was actually a problem I had when I blogged too, because I would try and schedule blogs, but then I would record something that I wanted to happen first, and then I'd have to unschedule. So it's kind of a mess anyways. But there are 3 videos over the last week. So check those out. Let me know what you think about those. One of the books that I read this week was The Ties That Tether. So I'll post a picture of it. I read it in an audiobook, so I can't show it to you. And it's a romance about a Nigerian Canadian woman. So she and her mother and her sister moved to Canada from Nigeria when she was 12 years old. And so she has grown up. She's now, I think, in her late 20s, maybe mid 20s, 24, 25. And so she's grown up a lot in Canada. And she only dated a Nigerian man who were from the same cultural background as she was. And she meets a man, a white guy, Canadian, and they hit it off. And so the book is really about how she's navigating this idea of really wanting to be with this one person, but these family ties and expectations about her being with a Nigerian man. And there's one part of the book that just kind of bugged me a little bit. I won't say what it is, although I did see one post, I think it was a Goodreads review, where somebody trigger warninged one of the things, and other people felt like it was a spoiler. And I wouldn't have called it a trigger warning. I wouldn't have thought of it as something that needed to be warned. But this one was talking about how it's a real problematic topic for her. So I'm not really sure. So I will just tell you what it is, and then I'll post that this is not a spoiler-free thing. But the main character has this planned one-night stand with this guy that she meets, and then it turns out that she's surprise pregnant. So the woman in the Goodreads review was saying that she doesn't read books like that. That's a really tender subject for her. But other people were posting that because she said it needed to be a trigger warning, that it was a spoiler. And that is actually kind of how trigger warnings work a little bit. Like, it's supposed to spoil it a little bit so that you can prepare yourself if you don't have the emotional capacity to deal with something that's hard for you. Like, that's actually the whole reason for a trigger warning. So I forgot to make my whole point. The reason why I didn't like the whole pregnancy thing was because her being pregnant doesn't make any difference to the story. It just adds an element, I guess, of complication that is unnecessary, because she will continue to see the guy that she wants to be with because they work together, and she'll continue to see the guy she doesn't want to be with because her mom keeps making her. So the secret or surprise pregnancy is really just unnecessary. And it's one of those surprise pregnancies because the condom didn't work. Like, why? It was just like, leave it out and it's fine. There weren't any, I don't think there were any other things like that in there, or things that I would have thought of as needing obvious trigger warnings. I liked the book. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it. I think that the main character kind of got on my nerves. And there were these parts, like her mom is setting her up with this guy, and her mom really likes this guy for her. And her mom talks to this guy, like, without the main character really knowing a lot about it. And the main character will kind of get like a little bit like, why are you talking to my mom? Okay. And so it was really, it felt inconsistent, but I am not in the situation where I feel very overpowered by my mom. She is overpowering and she might actually watch this. Hi, Mom. Love you. But I didn't feel like the responses were consistent enough, even within the same scene, from this main character. And I think that that was intentional because she's really torn between wanting to live her own life and wanting to do what her mom has really kind of trained her to do. She's the obedient daughter versus her sister, Effie, who is not the obedient daughter. She's the opposite of the obedient daughter. So I guess also coming off of Vinegar Girl probably has me a little bit like, ugh, to these women. Um, but like I said, I did like it. It is a romance, so you know there's a happy ever after by the end. And you know, 3 stars. It's gotten some good buzz, so I'm maybe in the minority voice of not loving this book, but I liked it well enough, and it was fast, and it was an audiobook, and I love a audiobook where there's an opportunity to hear a different accent. So whenever the main character's mom is talking, it's a Nigerian accent. So I liked that part. I don't think oh, there is coming up on Tuesday a live chat with me and Thistle and Verse on her YouTube channel. So make sure that you put that in your calendar. I think that she has a post where it's scheduled or whatever. So if you go to her channel, you can click on the thing so it'll tell you when it happens. So I am almost done with the book, but not yet. I have a couple days left, so I didn't want to rush through it too quickly. And then I'm also really excited about the Midnight Library, which the Boozy Baking Bibliophile has for her book club book for this month. So it's going to be a good month, I think. Good reading month. Plus, you know, new president. All right. Catch you on the next one.